the past 5 weeks that I've been in Madrid, I have spent $59.93 on food and a big fat 0 on accommodations. How is this possible, you ask? Through a not super well-known method of traveling called Workaway. Hello, and welcome back to the Bliss Bean. So, according to Wikipedia, a workaway is where volunteers or workawayers are expected to contribute a pre-agreed amount of time per day in exchange for lodging and food which is provided by their host. That's the most basic idea of it. You're just doing some sort of work in exchange for room and board, but there are so many different kinds of workaways out there. You might have heard of woofing, which is an acronym that has way too many different interpretations, but it's where you work on an organic farm and you get food and a place to stay. That was the first kind of workaway that I learned about, and I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for farming, but luckily there's a whole world of different types of opportunities out there. So workaways range from like taking care of kids and teaching languages to working on art projects or building projects or working at hostels or bed and breakfasts. I found a workaway where you stay at a Buddhist meditation center. I found one where you work at a cat sanctuary. I stayed away from that one because I didn't get a rabies vaccine, so I'm sticking to humans for this trip. But yeah, there are tons of people all around the world who are looking for people like you to help them, and a hub on the internet for finding all of these opportunities is a website called Workaway.info. Yeah, I was about to say .com, but there's no .com, it's just .info. Workaway.info is a website used by both hosts and workawayers to help them find each other. There is a membership fee for this website. For a yearly membership for a solo account, it's 36 euros, and for a couples account, it's 48 euros. According to my research, which I conducted by simply logging out of my account, you can find hosts without making an account, so you can do some research and kind of get a feel for what opportunities are out there before you go ahead and make that commitment for a year's membership. So on this website, each host has a profile where they list their availabilities, what sort of help they're looking for, maybe some photos, what reviews other workawayers have left for them. And then you, as a workawayer, also create your own profile where you tell people about yourself and where you're traveling, what your skills are. It's basically like writing a resume, except instead of talking about how amazing you are with spreadsheets or writing emails, you're probably talking about how many languages you know or how well you get along with new people. Actually, it's kind of a lot like a resume. I think if you're serious about Workaway, then buying the membership is well worth the price. They have over 40,000 hosts in over 170 countries. Their staff check over each profile. You can reach out to them if you have any questions. There's features where you can find other workawayers that are nearby to hang out with, or if you know where you're traveling, you can find other people who are traveling to the same place and maybe find a travel buddy. It's just a very, very useful resource, and I honestly don't know how you would go about doing a Workaway without using the Workaway website. So that's the gist of it. I want to tell you a little bit about the experience that I've personally had so far with Workaway, and also answer some of the questions that people sent in on Instagram. Some people asked very general travel related questions, which I definitely want to answer, but maybe in a different video. And some people just said hi. So I started reaching out to potential hosts months in advance, and I would recommend doing it as soon as you start planning your trip, because they're either going to be happy that you're contacting them so early, or they're going to tell you to email them again at a later date. So you really can't go wrong. It's a win-win. As for response times, I mean, these are real people that you're communicating with, so it varies. Some people respond in a day, lots of people never respond. So the best thing you can do is just start early and play the numbers game and send lots and lots of messages. I knew which countries I wanted to visit, which I think is an important first step because, as I said, there's over 40,000 hosts. So if your search criteria is just anyone in the world who is willing to host you, you're probably going to get a little bit overwhelmed. As for the kind of work that I wanted to do, I wasn't really sure about that part. So I was mainly leaning towards opportunities where I could apply my photography and video skills, and kind of shying away from the ones where you stay with families, because honestly, I wasn't sure how I would fare in dealing with children, but I didn't want to cross it out, so I tried it out, and I'm really glad I did because it ended up being perfect for me. So yeah, finally, after lots of emailing, a lot of unsuccessful attempts, attempts, I finally found a family where the dates that I was traveling worked for them. The next step was to arrange a phone call to see if we clicked, and my parents also joined in just to see who their daughter would be staying with. Honestly, it was a little awkward because there wasn't even that much to talk about. We talked about basic things like what the schedule would look like and how far away was the school and how far away is the city center and how much free time would I have. But I just overall felt pretty comfortable with them. My parents felt comfortable, the host family felt comfortable, I think, and so it was a pretty quick and easy call. Afterwards, the mom talked to her daughters to see if they liked me, and then she emailed me to say that yes, they would like to invite me, and I responded that yes, I would like to come. The few emails that followed involved me sending my detailed flight information, talking about who would pick me up from the airport, figuring out how to get a metro card for myself. Did I have a backup plan if things didn't work out? Not really. I was gonna be in Madrid, so I knew that if I needed a place to stay, there's plenty of hostels in the city center. I speak good enough Spanish, I wouldn't be lost. But if you're doing a workaway in a more remote area, or if you don't speak the language that they speak there, then yes, it probably becomes more important to have a backup plan, like anyone that you might know in the country who may be able to help you out, or looking into transportation options if you had to leave, things like that. I didn't need a backup plan though because everything went amazingly. As soon as I got there, they were so nice to me. I got my own cute little room. The girls that I was taking care of drew a picture of me. The mom printed out a schedule for me and drew out exactly when my responsibilities were and when I had free time. If you're interested, I did make a day in the life of a workawayer video. But basically, I would get the girls ready in the morning for school, take them to school, take them to after school activities, help them with homework. It really was not a lot at all, and it just felt like being a big sister. The cool thing about this workaway is that in the end, I actually ended up doing a video for my host mom about a research project that she's working on, so I kind of got the best of both worlds. I got to make videos, which is what I initially wanted to do, but also just be a part of family life, which I didn't initially realize how helpful and comforting that is when you're traveling by yourself. And I think that's kind of at the core of the workaway concept. Obviously, they're all very different, and I've only done 2, so I'm not an expert, but you're not there to just do your job, sleep, eat their food, and then leave. You're there to make connections. So it's a different style of traveling, but if you click with the people that you're with, it is pretty amazing. Another question was, would my host family mind if I went out at night? I'm not really the type of person to go out late at night, but with both families that I've stayed with, I've basically had weekends free, and then weekday evenings, sometimes you have responsibilities to take care of, but I found that with both families, they've been incredibly accommodating and explicitly said to me that if I do have somewhere I want to go, just let them know and we can figure something out maybe. So it depends on who you're staying with, but I definitely, in my experience, I've never felt like I've been trapped at home and unable to leave. As for socializing, I've met some people through Instagram and the Workaway website, and then also this website called Meetup. Honestly, finding friends while traveling is something I need to get better at. It's a skill I'm learning, but it's definitely possible, especially if you're in a city like Madrid. You just have to go out and find the opportunities. Just because you're traveling alone doesn't mean that you have to spend all of your time alone, because there are plenty of people traveling alone, and you guys just have to find each other. Okay, I've been talking for an hour and I'm also a little bit sick, so this might have just destroyed my voice. But I hope you found this video helpful. If you have more questions, you can ask me. You can go on the Workaway website. There is a Workaway subreddit that I found pretty helpful. Honestly, just Google any questions you have and you'll probably find answers. Let me know in the comments if you've done any Workaways, or if you haven't, what country would you travel to? And I will see you next week. Bye!